What's up there, guys? Dibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel. Football from the fans' perspective. Welcome back. Welcome to our new video. We're doing transfers, Kaizer Chiefs transfers, of course, players that are linked with Kaizer Chiefs. There have been reports of many players that are linked to Kaizer Chiefs, many interesting names. I think Kaizer Chiefs has been struggling in all departments of the game right now. The keeper, the defensive line, the midfield, and the striking position. There are questions in that position as well. And there are players that are linked to Kaizer Chiefs that I think we need to sort of assess if really Kaizer Chiefs should go for them. But I think it is a feeling of each and every fan that Kaizer Chiefs, this transfer window, when we are eligible to sign players, we need to go out there and break the bank if needs be, and we need to get quality players. I don't think we need to sign too many. That's my view on it. There are players like Billiat who are coming towards the end of their contracts at Kaizer Chiefs, and it is said that there is a delay in terms of his negotiations with Kaizer Chiefs. There's a stall, and possibilities are that he might be seeking a move outside PSL, outside the country, and most likely to join Al Ahly, coached by Coach Pitso Mokoena. And for me, Billiat, I would really like to hear from you. For me, Billiat has not served Kaizer Chiefs that much, and it is said that his salary, his wages are quite high. I think if it comes to a point where it's problematic, Kaizer Chiefs has to release him, really release him. I think we can survive without him. In fact, the team has been scoring without him. The only problem is that, we were lacking in terms of finishing, in terms of decisive action in the upfront, but also it has not been a help that much in Kaizer Chiefs. If needs be, it can be released according to me. So we're going to look into the defensive line, which players are linked with Kaizer Chiefs, the midfield and the strikers. But before we do that, I would like to encourage everyone that is new to subscribe to our channel, to turn on the notification button, and let us hear from you in the comment section. And those that have subscribed, that have been commenting, I really appreciate your support. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In the defensive line, the first player that we're going to speak about is Taariq Fielies, only 28 years old, former Milano player, now at Cape Town City, one of the central players in Cape Town City, more especially the defensive line. Was there, brought, I think at the time of Benny, if I'm not mistaken. And he was one of the most important players that Benny used to talk about post-match, even pre-match interviews. And it's been growing and growing and growing ever since. One of the things the qualities that he possesses, that is very intelligent. It's very intelligent in terms of reading the play, reading the game, and making smart interceptions. Is very intelligent. Another thing is that is good in build-up play. Playing the ball on the ball, very good in playing on the ball. Another thing is that one thing that I like about him is that he is one guy who throws his body on the line. Most of the time he's always injured because of that. Exactly that he plays with his heart. He throws his body on the line. He's there for Cape Town City. If you check him this season, he's been one of the players that are very much important. So for me, the only thing that I have with him is that the thing that I'm asking myself, is it better than the defenders that we have right now? That's the question that I'm asking myself. We have Cardoso, we have Mato, we have Agay that is now improving, a bit slow but improving, and we know that Taariq is a bit pacey, he's very pacey. But is it better than them? I don't think so. There's Ngezana as well. I don't think he's better than them. Can he be a commander and a marshal, in that defensive line of Kaizer Chiefs with the players that we have? I don't think can be a better marshal. There's also Rama. I don't think so. To be honest, I really don't think so. I don't think so. He has not been getting call-ups in the national team as well, and that's one thing that I think we should look for. We're looking for an experienced guy, a commander, a captain material, a very decisive player. I don't think, more especially now, looks like it's going to be very expensive. Cape Town City wants to hold on to him, and they have intentions to keep him in their club. And Cape Town City does not want to release players very cheaply. So I think for me, Kaizer Chiefs should not really go for it and sign him. I don't think so. I don't think so at all. I think there's another player that's linked with Kaizer Chiefs. Buhle Mkhwanazi has not been playing for months right now. He's been waiting for his issue with TTM and Vids to be resolved. Apparently, there's monies that are owed to him. I was listening to an interview when I was speaking to BBK. Sounds like a very relaxed man, a man of God, a very focused guy, and he's very hopeful. He's a man of faith. He was saying that there's gonna be big things coming for him, and he knows that God is preparing something big for him. And I believe so. I believe there's something big that's gonna come for him. He's a captain material, well-disciplined guy, and he's been linked with Kaizer Chiefs. 30 years old now, playing for Bafana Bafana. A champion material with Vids, and is left-footed, one of the few left-footed center backs in South Africa. I think he's one guy that can marshal the defense very well. I don't doubt him. And he's one guy who's a captain material, and he's one guy that can add in Kaizer Chiefs right now. He was linked with Orlando Pirates this January, but there were news that Pirates couldn't go for it because it's too expensive, signing on fee, and his wages are quite very high, and that is one thing that scared off Orlando Pirates, and that's one thing that might scare Kaizer Chiefs off, because our team with spending. But I think right now with a guy like Buhle, if also he needs to be able to understand the situation, he needs to be able to at some point say, I'm settling for this amount, and not too ridiculous amounts when you have not been playing. But Kaizer Chiefs should go for him. I think we should go for him, should try and convince him. He's a boy of Gavin Hunt. Of course, he's been playing for Gavin Hunt, so there won't be any questions around him. There won't be any problems with how he plays, how he needs to play. So, and one thing is that is quality defend, one of the best in South Africa. So I think Kaizer Chiefs should look into going for him. In the midfield of the line, very interesting is that we have new players in that midfield. Blom and Macheke, for me, if you have watched Macheke, if you are very attentive in watching the game, if you check the technique of the player, the positioning of the player, the aggressiveness of the player of Macheke, you will know that this guy is going to be future. This guy is future, in fact, and this guy is going to be very good in Kaizer Chiefs if given a chance. And there's also Blom, who's been growing and maturing, day in and day out, week in and week out. I think he's adapting very well in the midfield line as well, and he's going to grow in Kaizer Chiefs. And we need someone who can just be that adding factor. No, not that much. We don't need a lot. We need just someone who can be that kind of saying, I'm an experienced guy. I can marshal you guys. I can assist in terms of, assisting in terms of confidence, in terms of leadership. That's one thing that we need. Otherwise, we have these guys that are coming very well. We need not to block the way for them. The player that has been linked with Kaizer Chiefs, 29 years old this year, will be 29 years this year. Phathutshedzo Nange trained with us in the beginning of last season with a hope that he was going to sign for Kaizer Chiefs, but transfer ban came in and disturbed. But he went to sign with this team, Stellenbosch, and with Stellenbosch, he's been very stellar. He's been an interesting player to watch. He's been very good, to be honest. You watch the game against Leopards, against Sundowns. He's been scoring. He's a box-to-box guy, but also his physicality allows for him to play as a CDM, because we need someone in the CDM position, not somewhere else. We need someone in the CDM position. He can play as that, but he's too ambitious in going forward. But I think this guy, coachable, understood by Gavin Hunt very well, understands Gavin Hunt very well, and only signed 1-year contract with an understanding. There are news that he has an understanding with Kaizer Chiefs and Gavin Hunt that at the end of his contract, which is only 1 year, meaning it ends only this year, is that he's going to go back to Kaizer Chiefs. By that time, we'll be eligible to sign players. I think we should go for him. There is no questions about it, and there's some sort of clarity in terms of where the player wants to go and how good he spoke of Kaizer Chiefs when he went to join, Stellenbosch. I think he should come at Kaizer Chiefs. I would gladly accept him. I would gladly know. He's one of my favorite players in PSL as well. Another player that has been linked a little bit with Kaizer Chiefs, I'm just going to speak just a little bit about him, is Teboho Mokoena of SuperSport, only 24 years right now. Only 24 years. If you know how long the guy has been playing, how long he's been in the PSL, now a national team player from under 23 has been there in the game. He's very experienced guy at a very, very young age. And when Dean Furman left, their chairman sort of said he's going to replace Dean Furman, because Dean Furman was their CDM. And they're saying he's going to be replaced Dean Furman as their CDM as their leader in the midfield and some sort of captain material in that team. Non-negotiable in terms of how SuperSport values him, and there is no doubt in terms of his qualities. Very serious quality of a player, very good on the ball, hard also in marking. The only problem is that I might have a problem in terms of his physique in that CDM position, but I doubt he will struggle. I doubt he will struggle, but the problem is that SuperSport values him so high. I don't think Kaizer Chiefs can afford him, and he's been on injuries right now. I think it's fine. Let's just wait and see how the player is developing. Also, is looking for moves overseas. Another player in the middle of the pack, very interesting, is Thabo Nodada. Just signed a 3-year contract with Cape Town City. That's bad news for everyone that wanted to sign him, including Kaizer Chiefs. That was linked with him, and or he was linked with Kaizer Chiefs. But also the guy has been there. Ben McCarthy's team has been there. He's a box-to-box player. Also can play as an 8. Very ambitious going forward. Is a very strong engine. Very strong in energy. His energy is just commendable. Apparently they call him Kante in Cape Town City. But he has those qualities. But the only problem is that he's not a CDM. It's not a CDM, and that's where we need addition. According to me, we have other, in other departments, Kaizer Chiefs is coming very well. CDM position, I don't think is a CDM material. And also, I think after having signed a contract with his team, Cape Town City, he's going to be very expensive to get him out. You need to buy him out. It's going to be very expensive. And the guy was made it clear that he wants a move overseas. Only if a move overseas fails, he can consider Orlando Pirates and Kaizer Chiefs. So, yeah, I don't think we should go for him. And if anything, in the midfield of the line, we also need to look abroad. I am sure there are players that we can get that are not so expensive, that are strong, easy to develop players abroad. As Kaizer Chiefs has done before. On the striking position, there is nothing much in the striking position. Just the question around Castro, whether he's able to marshal the striking line or the forward of Kaizer Chiefs when Nukovic is not there, of course. And the problem we saw this season, the beginning of the season, when Nukovic was not starting, Castro was struggling to be, the main man in that striking position. In terms of goals, in terms of movement, he was just struggling. He's only good. One thing that I know about Castro is that he's good when playing with Nukovic. When they're playing both of them together, he's very effective. Like we saw last season, like we're seeing now in the recent games, when he comes in as a sub, when they're playing together, he's very effective. But there's a guy, Grobler, 33 years, linked with Kaizer Chiefs, on fire this season. From last season, he was on fire. I think last season he was a joint top goal scorer with Kabadino Mango, if I'm not mistaken, with 14 goals. This season, half of the season already, the guy is on 12 goals, if not 13. 12 in PSL, I think 1 goal is a goal in the cup competition. And unquestionable qualities. Bafana collapse, very good player, very lethal in finishing. Problem is injuries. He just broke I think it's a record of Abraham Rasselemane of SuperSport of 57 goals. So I think he's one of the top goal scorers, all-time top goal scorers in SuperSport. So the guy is proven, but problem is the age. 33 years old. Do we need a 33-year-old who is very expensive right now because it's clear SuperSport values him? I don't think so. I don't think we need a 33-year-old who's very expensive. There's a farmer there who needs to be worked on. There's a project in progress that I think Gavin Hunt can work on. The guy is still very young and is promising. If Castro is not there, we can play Sifama. I don't think he can play as a lone striker, of course, but I think he's a guy who can work on, and I think there are options in going overseas and in around other leagues in Africa looking for a striker. Broadly Grobler, too expensive. I think it's gonna be too expensive for Kaizer Chiefs, and I think it's old for the man that SuperSport might require. And I don't think, as much as it's good, we have Nukovic, we have Castro, I don't think we really need someone in the striking position. I don't think so. Otherwise, I would like to hear from you. What are other transfer targets that have been linked with Kaizer Chiefs that you think they can come into Kaizer Chiefs and make a difference, and your assessment and your view on the ones that I mentioned. Otherwise, from me, this is Dibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective. Love and peace.